MPs hailed a great day for a free and fair press this afternoon after Labour plans for another costly Leveson inquiry were rejected by Parliament. Ed Miliband-led moves to amend a data protection bill to establish another statutory inquiry into the press dubbed Leveson Part 2. But despite a desperate speech to Parliament, the former Labour leader was humiliated when the move was voted down by MPs. Culture Secretary Matt Hancock tweeted, "A great day for a free and fair press. We will work with closely IPSO, the press regulator, to make sure their important work continues." Mr. Hancock had earlier warned the Labour attempt to strangle the free and fair press would kill off investigative journalism in Britain. And MPs lined up to defend the press, with Tory Jacob Rees-Mogg hailing newspapers as overwhelmingly precious. He said, "The freedom of the press is so overwhelmingly precious that we should preserve it, even if sometimes the press upsets us." It is amazing how many people who have had run-ins with the press have suddenly found that they think it should be more tightly regulated. When the vote finally came at 4 p.m., Mr. Miliband's plan to force the second phase of inquiry failed, 304 votes to 295, majority 9. John Cleese mocked after saying he'd leave Britain if vote failed. John Cleese was mocked online today after he insisted he would leave the UK if Labour's bid for a second Leveson inquiry failed. The former Monty Python comedian said that would be out of here if Ed Miliband lost the vote, tweeting, "I refuse to live in England like this." After the move was voted down today, followers asked him where he was planning to live. Richard Fordee wrote, "Goodbye John. I would like to know just where you will go to live, where you believe there will be no corruption." "If you believe Theresa May is corrupt, you will struggle." Another Twitter user joked, "Try Somalia." Or Russia. They know to deal with pesky journalists. Tabloid The Sunday Sport wrote simply, "Missing you already." The failure to rally enough votes saw Labour Deputy Leader Tom Watson pull his own plans to force through punitive damages on newspapers via the so-called Section 40 law passed after Leveson won after it became clear it would be defeated. After the vote, the University of Kent's professor of journalism, Tim Luckhurst, tweeted, "I am delighted that Atkin's inquiry's appalling amendments were defeated in the Commons today." Were they ever to return, Britain's reputation as a bastion of free speech and a champion of democracy would be shattered. "A free press serves us all." Mr. Hancock, opening of debate today, said proposed new clauses would mean newspapers would risk having to pay costs even if a story was accurate and in the public interest. He warned that the clauses would make it near impossible to uncover stories of abuse, as he highlighted the work of the Times chief investigative reporter Andrew Norfolk, who uncovered the Rotherham child abuse scandal. Mr. Hancock said he wanted a free press that can hold the powerful to account, but also one that is fair. While I want to see a press that is free to report without fear of favor and to uncover wrongdoing and to hold the powerful to account, I also want to see a press that is fair and accurate too. I am determined that we have a system that is strengthened so people have recourse to justice when things go wrong. He said regulator IPSO had recently brought in a system of compulsory low-cost arbitration, which means ordinary people can take claims to newspapers for a minimum of £50. Mr. Miliband launched a furious attack on the government for not moving forward with Leveson 2. He told ministers that their actions had been contemptible. After quoting then Prime Minister David Cameron, who had pledged to launch the second part of the inquiry in 2012, Mr. Miliband said, "No ifs, no buts, no maybes, a clear promise and a promise to victims of the press, and here we come along today and we have the government saying let's dump this promise. It's too expensive, it's a distraction." How dare they to the McCanns, the Dowlers, all those other victims. How can we be here? I say to members across this house, whatever party they are in, this is about our honor.